my movie recollection with Vincent Cloud.
Scotty Two Stacks.
And John Nemeth.
And this is the show where we talk about movies randomly, quickly, and we try not to cheat. We try not to look at the backs of DVDs, even though we've picked some of these ahead of time.
You're
And we
calling me out right now since I'm the only one that has physical DVDs in front of me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If it's like I'm reading something, it's like to casually look down sometimes.
and
All
we
right.
try to remember not to blurt out the name of the movie.
That's
And we
right.
let
That's
people
right.
guess.
All these things typically happen in an episode, but we'll see how it goes. You know what? I'm gonna start us off.
All
All
right.
right. Okay, so oh shit. Wait. Okay, three-word title starts with a T.
Wait, we don't get a pick
And
the number and letters
no, we
and
have technology now.
all right.
Is the
Scott,
T
check out Letterboxd, bro.
is
You
the
might
T
like it.
the? I hope not.
No, it is not. No.
You said it's 3 words?
Tomorrow Never
Yes.
Dies.
Wow. Very good, John.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. Never seen
Uh,
it.
oh, really?
Is that a Brosnan
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan,
Bond?
right?
Oh, yeah. Scott,
James
have you
Bond.
seen it?
No, I have not. Not a big 007 guy.
Is Terry
Guess.
Hatcher in it?
Pierce Brosnan, I don't care for him as an actor.
Oh, all right. That's fine. I've heard that.
Not even in Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh my God. You know what? Actually, you caught me. Big fan of him in Doubtfire.
When he gets hit in the back of the head, his fucking pissed face when he turns around is awesome. He's so funny in that. And he's the straight character, you know. So yeah, guess what Tomorrow Never Dies is.
A Bond movie?
Where?
Bond is stuck in a different country, and he's been told he needs to find this bad guy, or he's going to continue to be stuck in that country and be buried alive by
But like, does he have to do it with only what he has on him, or do they give him like a bunch of gadgets and stuff that he can use to help him through the various situations?
Okay, so all Bond movies are basically the same, right? So, I mean, you've guys seen them though, right? Bond movies?
Yeah.
Seen a
So
couple.
this one, there's not like a threat because tomorrow's going to come and the world's not going to blow up. So
Well,
everything is cool.
tomorrow. Okay, so this is interesting. Tomorrow Never Dies is the name of the newspaper or this multimedia thing, and the guy who's running it all is the bad guy. He's like, I'm going to put out fake news saying that China is attacking some other country, but like I'm gonna start a war and shit like that. And yeah, it's kind of ahead of its time with the whole fake news thing and shit like that. But Michelle Yao is in it, where she's the oh my god, is it Chinese or Japanese? I don't fucking know. Sorry. I'm sorry.
She's from China, isn't she? I don't know about the movie, but
Oh, I think you know what? I'm gonna double down here and say that it's China. Yeah. But hey, man. Okay, so Michelle Yao is the Bond girl, but she's no typical Bond girl. She actually kicks ass.
I should
Um,
hope so.
yes, yes. So you have her great stunt work. The actual Bond girl, you could say, would be Terry Hatcher. Remember?
Okay, so maybe I did see this one like
Ah,
um yeah, like in the theater actually when it came
oh,
out and
shit.
then never again. But
So,
I
so
don't remember anything from it. I
oh,
remember who I saw it with. It
Was it Terry Hatcher? Because that's what made you like, oh, I've seen this. Desperate Housewives.
yep.
What up? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of agree with Pierce Brosnan. I'm not like a super fan of his, although he was good in this movie called Ghost Rider. But Bond movies, they can be fun. I haven't seen a lot of them. I think I like GoldenEye overall. Um, this has submarines, and I'm a non-fan of submarine movies. Like I get like, claustrophobic and shit. And I think they're boring. So there's submarines in this movie, and I didn't like it. Yeah.
Oh man, I've been going through all the McTiernans, so I just watched Hunt for Red October for the first time.
Oh shit.
Um, Good submarine movie. And also Pierce Brosnan was in this movie called Nomads that was McTiernan's first ever movie. And for some reason, Brosnan is cast as like a French person and does the worst accent I've ever heard.
So you don't really care for Brosnan either. Or like, yeah, he's getting
No,
no love from us. Wow. All right, well, that's fine. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what's kind of cool in terms of gadgets. Oh, his car is souped up. It has guns on it and shit as usual, but he can control it remotely with his phone, basically. And so, like, he's in the back of the seat while people are shooting at him, but like he's controlling his car and shit like that. That's pretty cool. I think I can go invisible, I think. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys like Bond movies, I think people consider this to be just fine.
just fine.
Yeah.
When is it from? Like late 90s or
98, wasn't it?
yeah,
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. David Price is the villain, and he's the media mogul dude or whatever. And he has this great line. I might fuck it up. He was like, before he sends his goons and shit to kill Bond, he's like, let the carnage begin or something like that. It's awesome. I think David Price is pretty sweet as an actor, so I liked him as the Bond villain in that one.
Who does the theme song?
Oh, Madonna, I think. Yeah. Oh shit, I might be wrong. Hold on. Unless she did him twice. Tina Turner did GoldenEye. Who the fuck did Tomorrow Never Dies? Garbage did The World Is Not Enough. Shit, man. You and these haymaker of questions. Yeah, no idea. Sheryl Crow. There you go. It's got to be that one.
Two.
Damn, I'm good. All right. Hey, you know what? Let's get out of this. I don't think either one of us are gigantic Bond fans. So, Scott, let's choose from your piles.
Well, we have Group A, which is 1 through 5, or Group Z, which is 1 through 5. Choose at your own risk, boys.
Go ahead, John.
All right, well, I'm gonna go Z3.
Well, I was going to pick the number and you were going to pick the letter, I thought, but that's fine.
Oh, I'm gonna go
No.
Z.
Just go.
Sixth
C3.
word starts with O.
How
Six
many words?
words.
6. A
Um,
recent movie.
hmm.
Olymp Olympus has fuck.
Olympus Fallen. Olympus has fallen. It's not Oh Brother Where Art Thou. That's 5 words. It's
Is it the sequel to Oh? Ooh.
Uh,
um,
it's by one of my favorite directors. Again, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Has Leo DiCaprio.
oh, that Leo. Okay. Let me.
With an O. Why is this not popping up? Ugh. Ooh. Anyone else in the movie?
Bradley Pitters.
Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Correctamundo.
Wow. Okay, so you guys go ahead. I watched the first half an hour and then I was insulted, so I turned it off.
I have yet to watch this one actually.
I will
It's
say that's probably my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. It's very slow, uh, obviously very well acted, very well shot, but it's just a lot of driving. There are these moments in the movie where you feel like it could build up to something fun, and it doesn't necessarily do that until the last like 20 minutes. And then it's like, oh, this is the Quentin I know. But throughout the whole movie, it's just a lot of nothing going on. And he's like, "Oh, it's my love letter to the 70s." It's like, "Okay, well, I don't know the 70s like you do. So to me it's kind of boring. Wish there
I
was more.
thought Jackie Brown was his love letter to the 70s.
That's a great movie. That's one of my favorites of his actually. But yeah, Margot Robbie's in it and she just kind of hangs out, go see a movie, and then yeah, it's not much going on, I feel like.
Well,
So
she
what
plays. Go ahead, John.
oh, I was just gonna ask questions, so you go ahead.
I was going to say, doesn't she play the real life murder victim Sharon Tate of the Manson family?
Correct. And nothing really comes from that because he, like in Glorious Bastards, he kind of alters the history so it doesn't play out like it normally would. She ends up living, spoiler alert, in the movie. And then the killers go over to Brad Bradley Pitter's house and he fucks them up and it's super fun to watch. But yeah, there's just a lot of nothing going on. He visits Charles Mansion's Manson ranch place, and it seems like it's building up, and it's kind of cool, and there's a lot of tension, but it ultimately goes nowhere. So then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, back to watching him fix his roof with his shirt off, I guess.
That's right. He won the Oscar for this movie. Did he deserve it at all, Scott?
Did he?
Yeah,
I do not know.
best supporting actor.
Did not know that, but no, nothing about this movie I feel like should have won anything. Like his other stuff was well deserved. Django Unchained, great. Glorious Bastards, of course, marvelous. Christoph Waltz was a gem in that movie. Deserved everything he won. But yeah, this movie, I saw it over there and was like, they won't pick this piece of shit.
I feel like movies about Hollywood tend to do really well in awards
Oh my
ceremonies for some reason.
gosh.
I can't figure it out.
I probably do need to rewatch it, especially just so I can watch the end. There's actually a beautiful scene with Leo DiCaprio. I call him Leo because, but there's this scene where he's on set. His character is actually a really good one, but he's with this child actor and she has to be like 10, but she is so fucking good in this scene of the movie that I wish I could just show it to you right now. She's so natural and she's so intelligent in this moment, and they're just having this back and forth, and she really kind of like gets into his mind about like life, and it's a lot of fun that moment, but they're few and far between in the movie.
Okay, so I watched the first half hour, like I was saying, and it was typical Tarantino. Like everything's like shot, beautifully shot, but like long takes or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, me and Tarantino, I think we've discussed this where I have, but with this one, it was very slow, and then we get to Brad Pitt's trailer, and he has this dog, and the dog is like, licking its lips. It's like it wants to eat. And so Tarantino takes his time filming Brad Pitt feeding his dog. He puts, there's a close up putting it in the can opener. You see it rotate the entire fucking time. You see him open the fridge, take some whatever, place it, then you see a bead of sweat rolling down something. You have to watch it, and everything's long. The dog's like, wiggling, like he can't wait to eat. And then Brad Pitt looks at the dog, but he's actually looking in the camera and looking at the audience. He's like, you got to be patient now. And I'm like, fuck you, Quentin Tarantino. We're the dog in this scenario. I get it. All right. So I got out of there. I hated that. Like I said, me and
I will
Tarantino.
not be patient. Fuck you.
But yeah, I was out by that scene. Well, we've wrung this dry. Let's go to John's movies.
All right, let me spin the old wheel here.
Oh, I thought you were
Metaphor.
gonna spin a bottle. I was like, I don't know, guys.
All right. 4 words. First word is the. Second word starts with an S.
The Sandlot. Wait, no, it's 4 words.
The Sandlot 2. Oh, goddamn.
It's a musical.
Oh,
The
The
Sound of
Sound of
Music?
Music. Oh, that's a
I
tie,
guess
right?
I shouldn't have said a word in the title of it accidentally. But
I've seen it. It's been a long time. How about you guys?
Never saw it.
I've watched it within the last year or two, I think. It was my mom's favorite movie growing up, I believe, or at least up there for her. I I know most of the songs
Prove it.
because of that.
Anyone.
Do,
Anyone. Go
a
ahead.
deer, a female deer. Okay.
Oh wait, Scott, you gotta guess. What do you think The Sound of Music is, and what genre? Bluegrass?
Adult urban contemporary.
What's the one where there's that gal in the field and she's like on the cover, she's like, is this the one? Is that one?
That
Oh
is that
yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mary
All right, so
Poppins.
it's about this whore. No, I have no idea.
Close.
Wait, take a guess. What do you think? Why do you think it's called The Sound of
I
Music?
forget it's about a whore.
Okay.
A whore that wants to sing.
Well, in a way, you are right, but she's a whore for God. She's a nun, right?
A nun in training.
God. Yeah, go ahead and explain it, John, because I've seen it like maybe twice. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
so Julie Andrews is this wannabe nun, and things are not going so well for her at the convent. She's too free spirited. Um, and there's even a song about how do you solve a problem like her, and they basically, I think, just kind of want to get rid of her, and the situation opens up for her to take care of the kids of Captain Von Trapp, who he's like this stern military type guy, and he has like, I don't know, 6 or 7 kids who are free spirited as well, and they're always like going through these nannies or whatever, like they're always playing pranks on them and they end up running away. But she stays strong, she stays with them, forms some real bonds with the kids, and ends up you know she and the captain fall in love, and he ditches his baroness or whoever he was going to marry for her. And but wait, there's Nazis. So this all takes place in Austria during Nazi times. Well, the original Nazi times, not like our current ones we're in. But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
um, they're yeah, there's like a lot of nationalism stuff in it, and then it kind of ends with them escaping from like the local Nazi party who's doesn't like the fact that he's stood up against them and whatnot.
Isn't the daughter like dating a Nazi, right?
Yeah, yeah, like the girl who sings "I am 16 going on 17." I'm sure you've heard it. Her
Yeah.
boyfriend is like a cadet kind of guy.
Oh, shit. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I barely remember this, but people praise it. Yeah, I think Family Guy did a riff on this version. Where like they're on the stairs, and I kind of remember that scene as well, where they're like, "Now it's time to say goodnight" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Do you like musicals, Scott?
I can get down with some musicals. I prefer the older ones though. So if I were to sit down and watch The Sound of Music, I'd probably enjoy it. Um, I I mean I would watch I actually just watched a musical here recently called Dear Evan Hansen, and it made I was crying the whole time. It was such a good movie about this kid who is depressed, anxiety, ends up that he tried to kill himself, but a kid at school kills himself, and everyone thinks that this loner kid was his friend, and he wasn't. But he kind of gets roped into this whole thing of telling the family that he was friends with him because they're so sad and he just feels bad. And there's a lot of good songs in it. But yeah, Dear Evan Hansen, if you ever get a chance, pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that's
Has
right.
Caitlin Evers, and I'm a big fan of her. I think that's her name. She was in Booksmart, one of the leads of that.
No shit. Okay. I'm not sure, but I think what's her name? Who's the Mary Poppins? Who's that chick?
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. I think she got nominated or won an Oscar for this. Was she that good, John?
She was even better.
Oh my gosh. All right. That's great. Okay, well,
They
on
should
to
have given her
a new.
two.
Oh my God. I think she might be a two-time winner. I think she was definitely nominated for Mary Poppins as well, which I've never seen.
There's a theater in Minneapolis that it seems like once a year they do a Sound of Music sing-along showing, um, which I've actually been tempted to go to, but I never have yet. Haven't had the nerve.
I could see that being fun, but I would be sitting there going, just watching so because I don't know the I can't.
Okay, new movie. Who's up next? I don't remember.
I think it's you.
Okay. All right. Three-word title starts with first word is the, and the second word starts with an L.
The L word.
You son of a bitch.
The last
The
something.
Last
Um,
Samurai.
ooh. Um,
The
from
Long Good Night. Goodbye. Good.
from the
The last
80s.
duel.
Nope. This is the 80s
Who's in
treasure.
it?
The
Vince.
Lethal Weapon.
Who's in it?
Who's in it? Jason Patrick. Where's my Jason
Right.
Patricianers out there?
Hmm.
Corey Haim, Corey
The Lost
Feldman.
Boys?
Yes. Have you guys seen it?
I think so. Is that the
Was
one
it that?
where they
Yeah.
walk on the train tracks?
They cling at the bottom of the train tracks. Yeah. They're hanging from the
Yeah.
bridge. Are you thinking Stand By Me, John?
Oh,
Because we've
yes,
had
yes,
this
I
happen
am. Yeah, yeah,
before.
that's exactly what happened.
All
Yeah,
right.
The Lost
yeah, this
Boys.
is
You'll
Dazed and Confused, Fast Times at Ridgemont High all over again.
So funny. Uh, but yeah, this is The Lost Boys. So, Scott, have you seen it then?
I have seen it. It's been a bit, but I did watch it. I went through like a Corey Haim, Corey Feldman phase where I was like, "Ooh, they were the teen stars. Let's see what they were into." I watched one where he was like turning 16 and he had a car. That was like the whole movie of him having a car. I don't know.
Oh, he kind of like takes photos of Heather Graham passed out. Yeah, it's a little a little cancely today. I remember that movie as well. But anyways, we're here to talk about The Lost Boys. John, what do you think it could be about, considering the
There are
stars?
vampires in it.
Yes.
Lost Boys. Is it Peter Pan adjacent?
Well, they never age, the vampires.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, Jason Patrick and Corey Haim and Diane Wiest. I love Diane Wiest. Anything she's in, she's always great.
Isn't Alex Winter in this movie?
Yes, I was getting to that, Scott.
I love Ham mainly because
Right?
of the Freaked.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, Alex Winter might be a future love. I mean, everything he's involved in is pretty fucking good. That MTV show that he made and shit.
Oh, yes, yes.
Anyways, so the family, they moved to, it's not San Diego, but it's something Santa Monica or some shit. And right away, these comic book people are like, "Hey man, like you're Corey Corey Feldman's one of the guys, and he's like, "Hey, listen, bro, there's vampires and shit like that. You know, protect yourself." Meanwhile, Kiefer Sutherland, Alex Winter, and then two other fucking, I don't know, were they from Def Leppard or some shit? But they're harassing locals at this, you know, a lot of it takes place on this beach, right? Like look at the boardwalk where there's like rides and amusement parks and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're actually, I mean, eventually they're mysterious, but we discover they're vampires. They convince Jason Patrick to drink blood. He thinks it's alcohol, but they've been messing with his mind and shit. They're like, "Oh, you're eating that rice. It's actually maggots." And he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But no, they're doing mind games. And then they're like, "Eat these noodles. They're actually worms." He looks down and they're worms, but they're just fucking with him. Finally, he drinks the blood. He's like, "Bullshit. I'm just gonna drink this." So it's about peer pressure. It's about, you know, teenage angst and changing and shit, you know, because when he's a vampire, so he's moody. But as, you know, the mom, Diane Weiss, just treats him like as usual. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna get through this." You know what I mean? Like she's not a fool at all, but she deals with his vampirism in the same way, I almost want to say. Um, it's so much fun. It's directed by someone. Oh my God. Scott, you don't remember the director?
I do
Joel
not.
Schumacher.
Oh,
Yes. Oh my gosh. Joel Schumacher, and it was produced by the Goonies guy, whatever his name is. So it actually looks like him because he had to drop out and then Joel Schumacher directed it. So it has the look of that other director. Fuck. But it's directed by Joel Schumacher. I recommend this. This is one of my easily top five favorite vampire movies of all time. Lots of, you know, funny lines and shit. The vampires are awesome looking. It's very gory. This is some of the coolest vampire deaths in cinema at the end and shit. And it's so good. I recommend it.
I will put it on my list.
All right, switch it up to someone.
All right. Why don't you pick from one of Scott's stacks?
Oh
Scott two
yeah.
in the house. We got A 1 through 5 or Z 1 through 4.
Let's go A2 steak sauce.
I was hoping you'd pick this movie, actually.
No, I won't know. I don't want
I was supposed to be me who picked one you hope
to.
nobody would
Yeah.
ever know that you saw.
Two words, starts with O.
Open season.
No. It's an early 2000s comedy.
Ordinary people. uh, oh, oh,
Has a lot of snowboarding in it.
Out
Out
cold.
cold.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
love that
God.
movie.
We've all seen it then, right? Awesome.
Ooh, ooh.
Now, okay, so for you wizened movie people, you'll know that this is basically Casablanca, but up in the mountains, right?
Yeah, and with more like slightly more genitalia getting stuck in hot tub jets.
Has Zach Galifianakis. It has a fucking amazing soundtrack. It's right up my alley. It's like a bunch of, you know, rock, mid 2000s rock. Not
Yeah,
even
run through it.
it has Eve 6, Late Lit, My Own Worst Enemy. Eve 6 actually made a song for this soundtrack that I was pissed that it wasn't released on an album because it's so friggin' good. And now I just have to go to YouTube and listen to it because you can't buy the album.
Oh,
You get in the car with a mile and a pound. You know how Eve 6 goes. But yeah, it's a lot of
Weezer.
fun. I went and saw it in 2000, I think one, because I was a freshman and my buddy at school was just randomly like, let's go see this movie. And I'm like, okay. And then I was just laughing my hiney off in the seat because it is definitely a movie geared towards teenage males. A lot of fun. And of course, oh my gosh, there's a Weezer song in there that's really good because it's the main character. I think it's either Jeremy or Jason London, one of those London boys and the girlfriend. And I was a sucker for little romance stories no matter what kind of stupid comedy it was. So I was like, just love him. What are you doing? He's playing your song.
Island in the Sun by Weezer. I love that
That's
song.
like,
And yeah, that's probably why I love it so much because I like this movie as well. I don't remember if I knew this was Casablanca at the time, but it still works, you know. Oh, what's his name? Is it Ron from The Office or Pam's fiance? Remember? He's in the movie.
oh,
He's
Oh,
that
Roy.
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And David Keckner's in there as well.
who's that?
He played Todd Packard.
Oh, I'm not the giant Office
Kind,
fan.
Camp Kind from, well, I don't know if his last name's Kind. It's Champ from Anchorman.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. When he has all those speeches, he's like, "It was the '80s" and shit like that. Yeah, yeah, this was awesome. And you mentioned Jason London. I like him a lot. Out of the two brothers, apparently Jeremy's a piece of shit. So
Oh, really? Was he the
yeah,
one who was in Mallrats then? Or was
yep.
he in Confused?
Jason was in Dazed. Jeremy was in Mallrats. Yeah, but
I
like,
remember watching this in college with a group of people, and then like as it was going on, like noticing that it was like the story from Casablanca, and like nobody that I was telling this to cared at all.
I thought you guys were just fucking around. I didn't realize that was an actual.
No, for real.
There's a one of my favorite moments in the movie is when Zach Galifianakis is talking about his scar that he got. And he's like, "Yeah, I got this like for some reason." And then he does this whole list of things how he ended up getting the scar. I wish I remembered exactly what it was, but it was pretty funny, guys. Just trust me.
uh, when they when he's passed out and they put him in the front in the driver's seat,
Oh
and
my
then they start
Oh
spinning the
my
car. That was so awesome. Okay. So, but okay, we mentioned the Casablanca parallels or whatever. But instead of the other guy, the boy, the boyfriend being like, "Oh, I fight for freedom and shit. I'm standing up against the Nazis." Instead, the boyfriend is in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm sure he was a nice guy too, right? Like I remember him being really chill and shit. Like he is a good dude. So I like that, again, it is Casablanca. How much credit can you give this movie? But I don't know. I still liked it. Still,
But like, I feel like more comedies should do that. Like, just
oh,
take like a tried and true story, but then like put it in a different setting and put a bunch of jokes in it. Like, if it's funny, like who cares if it has like an original love story or whatever in it?
that's true. I mean, look at airplane movies and all those parody movies. Like I love those things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Out Cold coming to theaters 23 years ago. All right, do we have time for one more movie?
Certainly. Is it me?
Sure.
All
Yes,
right. Um, oh, uh, two words starts with M.
Mystery
Matchstick,
Men.
What'd you say, Scott?
Matchstick Men with
Nope,
Nick Cage.
neither of those.
I said Mystery Men, Scott. We're like connected, bro.
Whoa, totally.
Nope. No, no men in it.
Oh, well, say goodbye to the
It's
Sausage
uh
Fest.
Money Talks.
it's the first
Krista.
of a franchise that has spanned decades, and there's another one on the horizon.
Matrix. Matrix
Um,
Men.
but this one predates The Matrix by a couple decades. Yet there's a new one coming out soon, and one that came out a few years
Oh,
ago.
Mad Max.
Yes,
Wait, which one? The first one?
the original.
Never seen it.
Never saw it.
All right. Well, what do you guys think happens in Mad Max?
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I did see the recent one with Tom Hardy, and I wasn't a big fan, so I'm going to assume it deals with the same stuff of being in a desert with no water, and Mel Gibson's like, isn't that who's in it? I need water. And the guys are like, well, you can't have ours. And he's like, in my cool car. Because doesn't he have like some kind of car he built? That's my guess. So Vince driving around
Yeah.
for water.
I'm guessing it's the same plot as the sequel, Road Warrior, correct? Where like I don't know, it's like they're in the post-apocalypse, and then it's like, "You want to get out of here? Come with me," shit like that. Uh, and then yeah, I don't know. I've seen this, I believe, Road Warrior, and I've seen Beyond Thunderdome, but I barely remember that. And I've seen Fury Road, but yeah, what's the first one like, John?
Yeah, so it's basically like you said, but just less so. That like they like had some of the ideas, but you know, didn't quite know how to execute it. But yeah, I mean it's basically that post-apocalyptic, but not as post-apocalyptic as all the other ones have become. Like you in the first one, you kind of get the idea that okay, there's still kind of civilization around, but the bad guys have a lot more power than um they do in like current times. Um the um story is really kind of confusing because like Mel Gibson kind of starts out as a badass, but then like in the middle then is like somehow just kind of like, oh, he's like a normal I think he's a cop in it actually. Um but then like throughout the movie then becomes a badass again. but they didn't like it. They didn't really. If it was supposed to be like a time jump or something, like that's not really explained very well. But like I don't know. It's kind of like the Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2 kind of thing. Like, okay, we have this idea. Now let's do a sequel, but where we like kind of do the same thing again, but we just execute it way better with like Road Warrior. But the the car stuff like is all actually pretty impressive in Mad Max, the original, given that like you're doing it for real and you have one chance and like it pulls out pretty well, I'd say.
And it was like very indie, right? Very low budget, right?
Yeah, for sure. And like um I don't think Mel Gibson was really known at that time for anything, and like he does pop as kind of being an actor with talent compared to most of the others in the movie.
That's awesome.
I want to go back to what Scott said. You didn't like Road Warrior either.
Fury Road.
Or Fury Road, I mean, yeah.
I,
What's
I'm
with your
not a
friends,
big,
Vince, not liking Fury Road? I can't believe this.
not a big like car chase guy, regardless. And like that movie's just a long car chase. So
I'm not a car chase guy either, but like
I
just
can admit that it's impressive. They did a lot of stunts, but it just wasn't for me.
huh.
And whoever it is for
How
sucks.
can all these people be so wrong?
Who else didn't like it?
Famous Dave.
Uh, what a bastard.
Famously, infamously. Okay, so yeah, I it sounds like I could skip it because you made the comparison to Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, where I'm like, I don't really have to watch Evil Dead. I think Evil Dead is so good, and it's basically the same thing, right? So should I watch Mad Max or just go back to Road Warrior?
Yeah, I think you're fine starting out with Road Warrior.
Sweet. I'll do it. All right. And with that, it's time to go into our post-apocalypse where we say like, subscribe, comment. This was my movie recollection with Vincent Cloud.
John Nemeth telling you to go to www.mymovierecollection.com and get the show in your podcast players. And
Scotty Two Stacks here saying go to www.mymovierecollection.
At first, I thought John called people players for the very first time. I'm like, oh, that was awkward. But you were saying get it in your podcast players. So now it makes sense.